Hi, I'm Ashley Della Sopreti, and we're here at the world premiere of Full Circle, soon to be released on Max. Stay tuned for interviews from Jim Gaffigan, Claire Danes, Zazie Beetz, and more. What was it like to work on this role? I know I loved you in Homeland, and that was an incredible role. And so for this role, I guess, what was it like to work with such an iconic director like Steven Soderbergh?
It was great, he has a totally singular approach to filmmaking and I guess TV making. He works very quickly, faster than any director I've ever worked with, and he is so present in the process. I mean, he's like kind of a one-man band. He's the cinematographer, the DP, he edits as we go along. It's all natural lighting, maybe one or two, often we do a take and move on. So, it was a little unnerving initially, but it was also thrilling, and I grew to really love it.
That's really incredible. Yeah. What do you hope audiences resonate with when watching this?
Well, every character in this story has to face themselves, and they in a deep way, and confront choices that they made a long time ago, and are realizing were problematic or maybe a little injurious, and so I think that kind of personal reckoning is exciting to watch. It's something that we should all have to do at some point in our lives. So yeah.
So from Deadpool to just the huge things you've been on, Joker, all of the above, what's it like to work on this new miniseries from Max?
Yeah, it's incredible. Working with Soderbergh again was such a gift. I really enjoy his energy. I enjoy his style and how he works on set, and then obviously also he's just so smart. And that was such a wonderful thing to be able to do, and with a show that's quite complex and layered and nuanced. And so it's been wonderful.
So I love how this series, from what we can tell so far, is like multi-family, multicultural. How important is the representation to you, and to be able to be someone who, in the future, a young person can be watching and see themselves on screen? So
yeah.
What does that mean to you?
It is, I think, profoundly important to have diverse stories, diverse casting. I like to see yourself represented is very impactful, normalizing who you are, and that the world recognizes you and sees you. And I know it sounds rather cliche, but it is true. To not see yourself on screens or on billboards or in magazines does make you feel less than inherently, and to give voice and to see minority stories and people from marginalized communities is, I think, really empowering. So I feel so fortunate to be a part of that story right now, and in the time that we're in, where it's possible.
My name is Ashley. Nocturnal.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Nocturnal. Right?
So you've obviously had such a long career of hugely successful comedy to pretty much everything. What's it like to be in this role? Is it are you able to have any comedic elements, or how are you in this role basically?
Yeah, I actually I've done a fair amount of dramatic stuff, and I like I see it as there's the times where, comedically you kind of relieve the tension, and in a drama you kind of sit in it. so I actually enjoy the awkwardness of sitting in it too. Do you know what I mean? So, but on an ensemble like this, it was amazing. You know, it was so fun. I did a lot of scenes with that crazy lady. So. What's that?
Can you walk us through your character?
Yeah, my character's name is Manny Broward. I play Zazie's boss, and she's kind of a different. We're U.S. Postal employees, postal inspectors. It sounds like they have a whole police force in the post office, and it's a relatively prestigious thing. I didn't know that before starting. And so we're investigating different things, and I don't want to give too much away. But so during each of the episodes, I mean, I think that the show's about how everything comes around full circle. You know what I mean? And how everything is, like karma is a bitch. So you might think you get away with something, but you don't. You know what I mean? And so, or who gets away with stuff and who doesn't.
What was it like working with Steven Soderbergh?
Oh, it's amazing. I was nervous, but it was amazing. I mean, well, he's also somebody that, with great directors, you always want to impress them and come up with ideas and stuff like that. And, I mean, it's so impressive watching him. He's doing everything, and he has this team that he's worked with for so long, and it's just a real well-tuned machine. So it was really exciting to kind of be able to work with him.
Lastly, what do you hope audiences take away from watching it, from your character to the whole cast?
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I think this is a New York story, and there is some surprises and turns that are really fun. But it's weird because you want it to be. I mean, my wife and I are probably going to watch something later on tonight. It's like I'd love for it to be that show that people are like, there's another Full Circle on Thursday night, you know what I mean, on Max. So it would be great if it became appointment television, you know what I mean?
So as the executive producer, how much involvement did you have in the overall storyline, if any, and how has it been bringing this to Rebecca? And congrats also.
This is Ed Solomon's original idea. Steven, Ed, and I had worked on a couple of shows before this. The first of which was a show called Mosaic. Mosaic was originally a branching narrative, so we were all very interested in perspective, first-person character perspective. So after that, it was Ed's idea to write this, and he pitched the idea to me and to Steven, and showed me the index cards that he structured the script around, and he taped them on the walls of his apartment, and it went all the way around in different colored cards for different characters. And so I was involved from the very beginning, and when Steven's involved, people are paying attention. So the financiers, HBO was very aggressive and enthusiastic about it. So it was from Ed's original idea and discussing it with me, and obviously discussing it with Steven, and going forward with it all, from the beginning, from there till standing here right now. That's been the ride.
Were there any complications over the course of COVID that interfered with the production, and how did you guys overcome that?
Well, we had a very rigorous testing program. It obviously adds a layer of complexity to pulling it off. A couple of cast members did get COVID during the show, so you reschedule it, and obviously everybody's health is the most important thing. But we were very prepared, and we knew, you got to do what you got to do, and complying with the requirements of the guild, which is what we wanted to do anyway. So we were just very rigorous and on top of it, and lucky enough to get through it sort of on time and on schedule and on budget.
And lastly, do you have any advice for aspiring producers?
Well, you gotta love the movies, or you gotta love cinema. Pay attention to the story. What's the story you're trying to tell? Being able to work with writers is really important. And then you gotta budget it, and you gotta get a director, and you gotta get actors. So it's a process. And I think being calm, there are going to be surprises, good ones and bad ones. And when there's a surprise that's not a good one, you need to solve the problem, and the meter is ticking. So you have to do it calmly and keep it within the box, and that's the best advice I got.
So can you walk us through your role in the show, and what kind of character, what role your character plays in the show, and just
So I play Natalia. She is a Guyanese young woman who has come to the States to try and better her life, and she gets wrapped up in some mess that she really was not trying to get into, and now her brother's here, and she's like, okay, this is really not what we're supposed to be in. So it's really just like a story of homegoing. This sister, or me, my character Natalia, trying to find her voice to take care of herself, but also her little brother, because the stakes are so high. And yeah, it's about family and just taking care of her family. That's what it means to her. I hope that makes sense, but yeah, like it's a lot about family. Like she's a sister who's like a die-hard, like ride or die for her brothers, and will do anything to get out of any kind of icky situation. I don't know if that came out right, but yeah. So yeah, that's who Natalia is, without giving away too much, so people can still watch and see.
Did you have any input as to who Natalia would be as the series progressed?
There was a lot of free liberty to begin with, to kind of find our characters and our characters' voices. So it was kind of like Steven and Ed gave me a lot of the reins and space, like the free space to kind of just present Natalia however I felt was truthful and honest to the character. So to answer your question, I feel like I had a lot of liberty from jump to kind of just explore and express her however she came out naturally in me. Yeah.
After being in such and to work with such monumental directors and the rest of the cast, how was that experience? And it must have been a dream come true. I don't want to steal the words out of your mouth.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like you look up to these people like Zazie and like Jarrell. Like these are people that I grew up watching, and like it definitely is a dream come true. But when you get on set, I mean, at least for me, something kind of just like, okay, I'm in work mode. Like you kind of just focus and you hone in, and so you realize you're all just there to do your craft because you love what you do. And it's like there's no better thing in the world than being around people who love what they do. And so at times, like I would go home and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I was just acting across from like Jarrell, that's crazy. But like in the moment, it's like you're just doing the motions, you're doing it, you're having fun, you're laughing offset, and yeah, it's good.
First off, how was it to be a Tribeca this year?
New. Like this is a lot. It's overwhelming. Like very, very overwhelming. So, but I'm blessed to be here, and I'm blessed to be able to get to watch what we did.
It's a fact. All the way from London, so it's good to be here. It's my first film festival. I can't wait. Looking forward to see what we've done, how we've done it, and share it to the world, because this is the time to do it, right? This is the festival, so I'm stoked. How about you?
So can you walk us through your characters in the series?
Yeah, I mean, Javier, we basically are in this together, me and Louis. I come from Guyana, also come from Jamaica, so you'll know through the series that he's very, very isolated when it comes to being in New York. He is someone that has to sacrifice a lot for the greater good, and I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to this. He's a bit of an anti-hero. He's one of those people that he does some bad things, but would you do that same thing in that situation? I think is the real question.
This man worded that beautifully, bro. Like, I want y'all to hear that. He worded that beautifully. But
it's not like I practiced or anything.
So with me, like, my character's name is Louis, and basically, yeah, we're in the same boat. We're going to New York from Guyana, Jamaica-ish, Caribbean, to look for a better life, to just do what any young man's trying to do for himself, trying to improve their life, their situation. And my sister Natalia is in New York City. She's working with Miss Mahabir in the massage parlor, company, whatever you want to call it. And basically, we run into my character runs into the wrong crowd because Miss Mahabir, they're doing some crazy stuff.
She has different plans for us.
She got different plans for us, right? So this man's on it though. He catches on earlier, and Louis is like, "What the heck is going on?" Like,
I feel like Javier is a very perceptive character. He's very aloof. He's one of those people that observes from a distance, and I feel like he's been able to use his past experiences to then come into New York and be able to kind of like balance out what's actually happening here without being fully exploited as the young fresh guy straight in the sea. So
definitely.
Yeah. What was it like working with such an iconic director, Steven Soderbergh?
I don't even know what to say. You know the answer to that. Like this stuff is 1 in a million, and the fact that we even be able to hit that one so early on in our career and so early on in our journey is a special, special, special moment. He made us feel so comfortable on set as well. He's great.
That guy is focused. Like when he's working, he's locked in. He's focused. And then when you hang out with him outside of it, you have some fun.
Exactly.
He like opens up a lot more, right? That's what I saw personally, and that was beautiful to see. And I respect him. I respect anybody who's chasing what they actually believe in and is locked in and really whatever they believe in, they go at it 100%, and that's what he does. So I respect him a lot.
And I love the multicultural aspects to this series. It's really great to see the representation. How important was that for you guys to be able to just have a diverse representation on screen?
That should be a given from the jump. I feel like we're in a moment in life right now where if we really want to be able to have a true representation of what the world looks like, then we need people from all genders, all colors, all races, everything. And this is definitely one thing that I feel like HBO, Max, Carmen Cuba, everyone that was a part of this project made sure. From people in the makeup department, to costume, to people that are acting, it needs to be diverse, and it shall continue to be diverse. It's important.
What was the question? One more time.
About the diversity, like off screen and off and on screen, and how much that means to be able to be
Piggybacking off what he said, like that's very important to me. Like diversity. I mean, you talk about my favorite shows. They have that element to it where it's not just like this is how it's not just one type of character. You get different type of. Like I just finished watching The Wire, man. At that time, I asked my parents, like, how did y'all feel to see something where it was these many different types of people, like a homosexual gangster, like what? So I really like stuff like that where it's like, because these are people. These people exist. They deserve to get their stories told. You know what I mean? So I love diverse stuff. That's my favorite stuff.